I try to do my best. I try to do my best. I try to exercise a lot. It's like sketching cars. Huh? I try to play as much as I can. In a week, I play guitar, I would say 3 days for sure, on a full week. And when I play for about 2 hours. So that's a way to to keep the exercise and still keep on learning because I need to learn a lot about cars, about guitars, but also about cars. Okay, so how are you? Anybody? How are you doing? Sang, I'm doing very well, thanks. Has been a very good week on the job, very nice. On my activities online, very nice too. So I have to say that I'm quite satisfied. And let me, there is somebody making a message. Let me write, I am live. YouTube. And now, so today it's starting the weekend. My online courses go really well, having a lot of fun. I'm trying to teach now to those students also the use of chalk, and probably you saw on Instagram some of my latest sketches done with chalk, with nice backgrounds, trying to do things a little bit more complicated. It's a lots of fun. It takes a little bit more time, but it's really fun. And we move on, having fun and learning, and that's the good important thing. Ciao Patil, namaste. I am fine, thanks. I hope you are doing very well too. Now we are 12, and as you saw from the thumbnail of this video live, the design talk, this time we will talk about the big change. Now, a lot of people probably are asking themselves, but what the hell does it mean, big change, in car design? Well, the big change is when you work in a company let's say for several years, okay? And then there are some big changes in the company. So it's not just design, it's the whole company. Like a new CEO, new managers, lots of new things, coming up. And that automatically will affect the design family too. So the design studio with the design management, the design boss, everybody. And it comes down, from top down until the designers. And the big change, it's something that is really difficult sometimes to take, digest, and act. So we will talk about this particular thing because when you will become designers, and I really hope all of you will be in a design studio very soon, okay? You will also live this experience several times during your professional life. So you are learning 3D modeling. That's very good. 3D modeling, it's a very good thing to know when you are a student, when you are in school, because if you don't make it as a car designer, you will always make it as a good design modeler, because that's how we call them in Renault, design modelers, which means you will work with designers together to make car concept and projects models. So that's a good idea. So Sam, you see, I just answered to you. I read now your second question, and I answered to you already. Okay, so when we are working in a company, una domanda che le piacesse come designer o manager. I like to be a lot as a designer, of course, because that's my basics. I come from a good design school. I've been sketching, designing and stuff, okay, in a team always, but I did the design. I was a designer for many years, and then I moved into I had the chance, I would say, to move into management. And management is something that I really like to do. But today we'll talk about this too, okay? So Today, at my age, management is probably the best, really the best thing could happen to me in terms of job role in the company. But when I was younger, of course, until 30, 35, to be a designer, an expert designer, working with young designers and bringing projects to production or to concept, or just trying to make a good project, was a lot of fun, great passion, great experience, great adventure. Ciao, Patriots! Welcome back. Besides, if someone of you are new and you don't know this channel, subscribe, put your like, and follow this channel, because every Friday we talk about design talk, a little bit the insight of design world in terms of car design studios, and many other little things about it. And every Tuesday here at the same time we are live and we sketch together, okay? Sometimes I give you free car design lessons, okay? Because I'm a former teacher. Ciao Rocco, welcome back. And some other times I just do tutorials, and then we will discover other things. And this year we're gonna have also 4 live chats with 4 major actors of car design world that will come here live and will tell us about their adventure, which will be for sure very useful for everybody, for me, but mainly for you. Do I need to have skill in CAD and then claim only before school, like in my entry portfolio? No, Yash, you don't need that. You will do that in school, not CAD, but alias, okay? Because CAD, it's more like engineering modeling. We're talking about creative modeling, which is a little bit different, okay? All right, so when we are in a company, it happens one day that the big CEO, the president, let's say, the most important man of this company, can do 2 things. One, decide that the company, the brand, needs a big change. Okay? Thank you, Rocco. And he wants to give a change to the company because the products that the company is producing, compared to other competitive brands, are suffering. And therefore they decide that that's the time where they have to move on with the change. Now the change can be technological, so more investments, put the money, Ciao Prasad, how are you? Don't worry, I just started, don't worry. So the thing can be just put money to invest more money in research and development, okay? But at the same time in engineering, in technologies. But sometimes he can also, or she can also, decide that this big change has to come from the people that are working in the company. And to do this, in general, there is always a little bit of revolution in the top management job roles, okay? So that we can get some new entries that take key job role. Thank you, son. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks. Got a coffee. Okay. That's a very good. Thanks. So, if you want to apply a change into this company, which would you prefer in Europe? Less budget. IAAD. I give you the answer. In Italy, there are 2 schools, IAD and IED, in Turin, Italy. As I know, their cost, it's very, very good. Ciao, Adam. Good, cool. Okay, so I keep on going, right? Okay, so son, go and check their websites. You're gonna discover everything. Okay? Now, if they have to change the people that manage important, families. For example, the head of the whole engineering. It's a very important place, very, very important. Because the man or the lady that will be the big boss of engineering, what do? They will look for the managers that they have, and they will probably change some of those managers. Okay? They will move. SPD is very good, but he's only master. Okay? The other two schools, they do also bachelor. Okay? All right? So that's the difference. Son, if you're looking for a bachelor, the school I gave you. If you're looking for a master, you can add also SPD in Milan. Okay. Rocco, let me continue. Of course they give us a budget. I will come to that. I will explain that now. So the man or the lady of the engineering will try to make its own dream team. It's normal. And if you change also the person that is in charge of product planning, which means the most important person that decides what type of vehicles the company must produce in order to be on the market correctly, okay? If you change that person, of course you will change those that have the key elements, tools in their hands to change the direction of the company in terms of products, cost, trends, following new social behaviors, new changes in life, stuff like that. Okay, good. Syed, thank you very much for writing that, because I didn't know. When you say bachelor means all 3 years, okay? Specify, because you have to tell us if it's a 4-year or complete, okay? Thank you. Quality does art center awarding a student if a student wants a large amount of scholarship. Quality does art center. Guys, I will answer to your questions after. Don't write now, because then I will lose in on my screen. So let me explain this, and after I will answer to all the questions you want to ask me, okay? Which one is more? Alias is the right software, okay? Alias from Autodesk. Okay, so you understand that if they change those big actors in the company, going top down, other changements will be there. And this happens also with design, because another way to change how the products look, and are, is to change who is responsible for design. For example, in my experience as a professional, I had several design directors. When I was in Fiat, now in Renault, because I have, it's already a long time I'm working. Therefore, I had all this type of experiences. So then, what happens to us, designers or design managers? We enter in a new period of our professional life, of that specific historical period of that company, and we have to learn what the company is looking for. We have, of course, to understand the new strategy, the new philosophy, to which you have to associate a new design philosophy and design strategy. You do also a lot of benchmark, because you want to make sure to understand how you position your products, in the panorama of the market, okay? Especially if you're a global company, then you have to really see everywhere where you can, how your markets are doing and what you can do to do even better. And then you decide altogether which are the directions, or which is the direction to follow. And very often direction is different from the one you were following before. So sometimes this creates a sort of, how can I say, people get a little bit lost. Not everybody, but some people can get lost because they don't understand where they stand, what they should do. And of course, they must have managers and directors that will help them to understand which is the new road, that they have to take in order to answer to the new design philosophy, to the new strategy philosophy, to the new policy, company policies. And all this has to be organized so that everything goes well together in a way that they fit, really well. Just like a watch movement that has to work perfectly in order to give the perfect time, very precise, without losing a second. Okay, so this is a very delicate time. Okay, so you have some people that needs to be reorientated. Okay, some other people that get that as a challenge, and they just go with Mr. Private account. Sorry, sir, for not spending. Oh, it's okay, private account. You don't have to. Only if people wish to offer me a coffee, it's fine. Unless it's okay, you stay with me here, and I'm very happy. Don't worry. If you are new, you can subscribe, and that's something you can do for free. Okay? All right. Ciao, Anish. Don't worry, I have just started. We're talking about the big changes in car companies, but also in any company in reality. Okay? One thing that, for example, one good example is when Steve Jobs went back to Apple. Apple was doing like this. He arrived. He applied a big revolution in every department, and look what happened. That Apple went up, and today is still one of the best, if not the best company. Ultra rich and doing excellent products. So this is a demo, a typical example that is very, very good. But of course, with cars is different because cars are more complicated, technologies are more complicated, cars are bigger, and cars cost a lot more money than a watch or than a telephone or a computer in some cases. Hey Mob, ciao. 39, I don't think so. Sorry, too late. So what happens is that in that period of time, a lot of people are working trying to understand how to change. The young designers that they sketch, they have to sketch probably in a different way, with a different type of creative approach. Of course, because if we are asking for a change, it starts from there. But then you have also managers that will follow designers, directors that will judge, and give advices to improve design, the sketches, so that those sketches and that creativity is guided onto a different path. And that's a very hard job. So when you do that, basically you have a period of time. I don't want to say that is in confusion, because there is no confusion, but a lot of people are frenetic. There are a lot of people that feel not very sure, others that feel really great and happy of the change. And so, as I said, they take it as a big challenge and they just move on like crazy. And other people that have some difficulties in following. But that's period, it's called the transitional or the transition period, which for every type of experience, it's always difficult. It's a human thing, It's not that you don't want to do or that you don't want to obey. It's just that from a human point of view, it's not very easy to switch from one thing that you have done for 10 years to another thing that it's completely new to you, which you don't know yet. So you have to discover what it is about. And of course, you want to learn very fast what it is about because you care about your job also. Because what happens in those cases? In those cases, all the people that make lots of resistance, okay, that really are against the change, they really don't want to do it, then of course they are creating a big problem to the company, to the department, to the team. And of course you can understand that those people put themselves in danger. I'm talking about keeping safe their job. So I believe that in general, all those changes pass well at the end. But it is true that in the first period, which is a transition period, it's more difficult. And this, it's not a question of few months. It can be a year, 2 years, because people there to understand. And you have to give the time to people to understand, assimilate the new thing, the new credo, the new philosophy, and then understanding to the point that they can act, in a very positive and constructive way for the company, the change. And then, of course, you have, in every company, you have people of different age. So who is younger, or who is new, it's easier. Those people like me that we are a little bit older, for some people can be very hard. For other people that are almost at the end of their career, it's okay. They're gonna play the game, probably even if they don't care that much. But the most important thing is that the 90-95% of the people that work for the company get to understand and assimilate that type of change, okay? So that change can be acted and can be acted correctly, okay? All right, then once that goes, okay, that the change comes to an average of understanding that is very correct, then automatically you will see on the products, on the concept car, on the show car, on the prototypes, on the publicity, on advertising of the new products, you will see those changes because you see the new cars. All right? So it's gonna take for the public, okay, about 4 years before they start seeing the change on the products. But for the people that work in the company, that change it's lived right away. It's an instant experience. And because it's instant, it's immediate, sometimes can be a little bit traumatic. But anyway, it's easier to change attitude in a design department or in design studio because all the people that are within the design team are people that have are very open-minded. Therefore, for us, I would say it's a little bit easier, okay? Instead, when we are in other departments, then in that case, it can be a little bit more complicated, okay? So, when you start working and you stay in that company for at least 10 years, there will be a strong chance that you will see this type of change at least once. At the same time, this type of change is also applied to you when you change company. When you decide for your career, which I always advise people to do, that after 5, 6 years, 10 years, you want to change company. And therefore you go into another company. Now, you know better than me, car design is an international job. It's not going to be same company in another company very similar in the same country. Very hard. You're going to go probably from your country to another country. another language, just like it was for me. And therefore you had to learn culture, new studio, new colleagues, new boss, and most of all, new design process. Because design processes are similar, but they're not the same, exactly the same. So the way I work in Renault, it's a little bit different than the way I used to be doing in Fiat when I was in Fiat. And when I went to China, it was completely different, much, much faster. Therefore, a lot of things you would really reduce the time in doing certain things, and you would do more work on other part of the design process, which was different than what we were doing in France, for example. So, I wanted to explain to you this because I think that this is something very important you have to keep in mind. Because when I start working, I never thought about those things. I was very happy. I am in a company and I work as a designer and I was extremely happy. But then 3 years later, I did change my director because Chris Bangle left and he went to BMW. This was in early 90s, 92 I think. And we did have a big change. We went from an American design director, very fun, very nice, to an Italian engineer that had a lot of experience but was not a designer, was an engineer. It was different in mentality already. So you can imagine that I was for the first time in front of this new experience that I did not have anymore my references with which I was feeling really well. Okay, and it took some time to understand how the new boss thinks, what he's asking for, how you have to change a little bit your attitude, and also the way you are in relation, with him or with her, because people are different. Not everybody have the same way of making jokes or giving, making of a relation a very nice, warm relation or very human. Some other people are much colder. Therefore, you are not able to, I don't want to say to become a friend, but to become more, used to have a nice talk with your super boss. So things change, and we, of course, have to adapt to those changes in order always to perform better, okay? At the same time, to make sure that we do what we have to do correctly, okay? Without being destabilized by the new situation. Okay, now let me go and check. I've seen BMW, the hot subject of the moment. Is this what is happening at BMW? Yes. And what happened with open project in the company? The open projects, Adam, if there is a timing during which anybody, if they want to or if they can, they could apply changes. Okay. So in general, when there is a new boss, if there is something that they can change without creating a big problem in the production lane or provoking huge extra cost, okay, or stopping the timing to market, if they can do that, they will do. And therefore we design again, maybe a new front grille, the new logo, the beginning, usually something like that. But what they count on in the big change is the next generation. Alexander, hello Luciano, what is your opinion about the color technology? The one in the, well, I think that is very nice. It's not bad. The only thing about that color change, probably, it would be much, much better on a surface that it's very simple and not very complicated. Because if you make a simple surface, thanks to the color change, it will look like there is a big section change and volume change. So maybe we could make some economy, spend less money in making the sides of a car because you make just a cylinder, and then it's the paint job that give you the feeling of three-dimensional effect. But anyway, that one was good. Why USA cannot make small cars? Rocco, they don't make small cars because it's not in the DNA of the American automobile culture. You know, that's normal. What do you mean too late? I am good in alias drawing and V-Red. Why are you to judge? Age is nothing but a number. Mob, I didn't say. You were talking about car designer. If you are talking about design modeler in alias, in V-Red, all that stuff, then it's perfect. Nobody said that it's not perfect. The age in that case doesn't count. But if you want to become a car designer, knock at the door of a car design studio of a major car company or any company with your what can I say, with your portfolio and the age of 39, I think you will have a hard time. That's all I say. Okay. The new Alpha, it's not bad. Besides, I'm nobody to judge because I don't judge. If you took it like I am judging, you are wrong. I'm not judging. Okay, so let me go and check other questions. I go up again. What do you mean too late? Okay, I already answered to that. In the comment section, what happens to the... Okay, I answered to that one. Okay, so Kartik is talking about the BMW grill. The BMW grill became a big subject on internet. I'm sure you guys already read a lot of info, comments, critiques, some positive, but I read also lots of negative critiques. Okay, so I think that where is it? Because I was just reading another message. Yeah, about BMW. I think that the BMW, it's in a period of time where they are searching something new. That's obvious. Everybody understood that, and I respect that very much, Besides, I know the big boss of BMW, Adrian Vanyuk. He's a very nice person, very good designer. He's a real talent with lots of good taste. And today he's the VP, of BMW. So I'm sure he's not he's young, he's not old, he's not 80 years old or 90 years old. That probably is really at the end of his reason. So I am sure that Adrian, that he's a very wise person, very wise manager, with a very good taste, a very good automobile culture, okay? And what he has designed in BMW also in the 90s, late 90s. So I think they are trying to make experiments, okay? And when you make experiments, there are two things you have to consider. One, that you are very courageous, especially with a brand like BMW, because it's not easy, to make a BMW something that is very controversial. It's not easy. It's a risk. But at the same time, maybe, and I say maybe, they are using the new technology for marketing, the online technology like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, to launch the rock and see how people react. And then they collect probably all the information, all the verbatim, all the things that have been said, the good and the bad, and then probably they will understand, they will study that to understand really what type of cars they have to do. You see? And this is a little bit like Tesla, because when you see Elon Musk taking the big cyber truck and go straight in front of the camera like a bomb, like that, and have a and expose the project, in a brutal way like that. It's that type of philosophy, in my opinion. I want to provoke, and I want to see the reaction, and because the reaction is from thousands of people on the net, all that information, it's free. I don't have to pay millions of euros to make marketing research. You understand? I just go and read, and I put two people that will take all the things that have been written, and they will put the goods in one area, the bads in another one, and they will take keywords and they will study all this, and that's their benchmark. I mean, if I were them, that's what I would do, And in a way, it's how can I say? It's a smart way, risky, but a smart way, to do a benchmark and see how people perceive the change of an important brand if that brand takes that type of path. I think that the confirmation whether they are really doing this, it's going to be on their next model or the next concept. We will see what they do. If the next one will be a little bit between quotes, wiser, not too extreme and stuff like that, then in that case probably this strategy is true. Okay? Alright, let me read some of the comments. Time of the year do major brands open the ship of jobs? Okay, internship, it's after winter. Okay? It's in general, it's spring and summer. Spring and summer, okay? For job, in general, it's the beginning of the year and almost never at the end of the year, okay? Anish, I have a question. What does being an F1 designer really mean? It doesn't exist an F1 designer. Yash, it doesn't exist the Formula 1 designer. Believe me. It's an engineering thing. Then we have designers that sometimes cooperate with the Formula 1 engineers on the model and see if they can apply few changes that have no impact on the aerodynamics, weight of the car, stability of the car, all that stuff that are very, very important for the Formula 1 car performance. So the design in reality is more graphics, all the graphics, the colors, things like that. In that case, yes, the designers are very important. We also forget about BMW is that people react more when Chris Bangle became BMW designer. BMW designer revolted, but today we all love his cars. Exactly, Syed, you said it. I never revolted against Chris because I knew him, I know his philosophy, the way he pushes people to do things that might look strange, that by reality are right, and he's a little bit a philosopher, or sort of a philosopher. So, we have to wait. Sometimes markets people are not ready, and me too, are not ready to digest things that are really different. But this does not mean that what they do is really bad. In some cases, it is bad. Okay, I made some very strong critiques about this big reel and the proportions of their car and stuff. So, in that case, I don't say that I'm right or I'm wrong. That's how I felt. I still have a hard time in liking what they presented. Now it's more than a month, that we see those pictures. At the same time, let's see their next step, because their next step probably is gonna be much, much better. Okay? All right, so design for no, Italy does not design for BMW. BMW does everything in-house, including their advanced design center in California, which is name is Design Works USA. It's in Huntington Beach. I was there once, many years ago. Few friends of mine work there, and that's really a beautiful place to be because there all the iconic, latest models have been thought, over there with the nice models, and then shipped those models to Munich and then developed in Munich. Anish, that was what I thought. I know that there are people who design in livery, but some say Adrian Newey is the best design in Red Bull, so that left me seriously confused. Yeah, but maybe wait, Adrian Newey probably he has the opportunity. I don't know him, but probably he has the opportunity to be more influent. Okay, to have a strong influence. That's very good if he is able to do that. Okay, but in general, when you are talking about cars that have a performance standards to respect, if you change a shape, automatically all those parameters are completely off, and they have to restart again, to make sure that they get the right parameters back to ensure the performance, the high level performance. Okay, well, I think I said it all today. Next Tuesday we're gonna sketch together, okay? And I really wish you a very good weekend. I hope let's see, yeah, okay. Newly is a design engineer. It's closer to me. Yeah, okay, that's why. That's why. Syed just gave the answer. Okay, good. Well, you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this type of subject, topic of today. Okay, the chat we had, and I really for the moment there is no evidence that BMW's selling is suffering, not at all. So it's just that the market, it's dividing, in my opinion, in their brain the two things: what is advanced design concept presentations to see and test, and what are the real cars of today that are on sale. So in my opinion, no, there is no, it's not this activity of advanced research, a little bit extreme, it's not hurting BMW. Different thing would be if it goes the same way into production, and that's the next step that we have to understand what's going to happen. Okay, good. Thank you. If you want to offer coffee, you still have the time with the super sticker or super chat. And just in case you really like this video, put your likes, share the video. If you are new, subscribe to my channel. Thank you. We'll see each other again next Tuesday at the same time. Ciao. Have a good weekend.